Scheduling in healthcare, it needed a rethink because it's kind of like the lifeblood of what makes a functioning clinic work. You can have all the facilities, all the right personnel, all the right equipment, but if you have nobody coming in through the door, it doesn't really work. So ensuring that every practice has a good scheduling system ensures that it keeps the business running, it keeps people being treated, and it just keeps the whole system moving like it should. Calendars for healthcare clinics and healthcare facilities today are broken in the sense that they focus so much on just ensuring that you can pack as many people in a view as possible, that what they really miss is all the important details about who it is actually coming in. We all talk about wanting healthcare to be personalized and tailored and making the patient feel like we're here to see them and that we care about them and we want what's best for them. But when you focus so much on just getting people in, it becomes a quantity over quality thing. And so what we wanted to do was try and bring back a little bit of that. What are the important details that people need to know about everyone who's coming in the door, not just how many people can we get to come through the door. What we wanted to do was make sure that the most important and the most relevant information was immediately accessible. And having that so means that people can take the specific actions that they need to when they need to take them, and it helps keep people moving and it helps keep the whole practice running like a tight ship. What's wrong with the traditional approach to scheduling right now is that there's just not enough of the right detail available for people when they need it. And what this means is that the poor folks who work these front desk positions usually have to go hunting and searching through drop downs and menus and extra windows and through 5 buttons in order to hope that they can find the right piece of information that they're looking for, that the patient is asking for. And the kind of real hidden struggle here is a very human one of having to ask a patient who's on the other side of the counter who needs healthcare, who needs tending to wait while you try and get them the information that's going to help bring them peace of mind. The tools that we ask people to use today are just complicated, they're convoluted, they're overly complex, and more often than not we see people have to rely on extra sticky notes on their monitors or having a whole second notepad beside their computer for this extra information. What looked like success for us was asking how fast can a question from the other side of the counter really get answered, and realistically how few clicks are required to actually do that. Keeping those guiding principles in mind really helped us reach an end product that we believe really is more functional, efficient, and informative than most of what's out there today. If you look at the old Athelas calendar and compare that to other calendars that we see in other EMRs today, you can already see that there is stronger visual engagement and already more detail than what we traditionally find on a calendar. But what we lacked on our old calendar was really that high density form factor that allowed someone at the front desk to get a good view of what the whole day looks like. They need more information than just what is happening in the next hour and a half, next 2 hours. They really want to get a good bird's eye view on the whole day, but be able to dive into the details if they need to. On the new calendar, actions that folks would take every day in their job, we've really tried to make them easier and quicker. So for example, being able to edit appointment details now is as simple as hovering over a block on the calendar and then clicking the edit button in the new popover that we added, or being able to check in a patient for their visit. It used to be a couple clicks hidden away in a menu, and now again you can just hover over a block, see all that condensed important information, and right there at the bottom is the primary action to check them in so that you can move them on to be seen by the provider. One of the things that we think is really powerful about the new calendar is just how much information is packed into the new popover that you get when you hover or click on an appointment block. Everything in there is situated inside of a section that can be expanded and collapsed, and one way that we actually try and tailor the experience is that if you have an account and you're a medical provider, you actually see different information by default than someone who has an administrative account might. And this just allows us to focus on getting the right information to the right people faster. One of the ways we wanted to really embed speed and efficiency into this calendar was to give people the opportunity to be able to derive meaning through more than just reading. By giving good pops of color on the calendar and visual iconography, you can now look at the calendar and get a good sense of what's going on, when it's happening, and what important information about specific events are happening without actually having to read. You can look at the colors, you can look at the icons, and they can tell you the majority of what you need to know. In order to ensure that the calendar was efficient in its controls, we wanted to make sure that every item that we placed on the screen was there to serve a purpose. So whether or not you needed to change your calendar zoom level, or you needed to show or hide a bunch of providers, or reinstate a saved view on the calendar. Everything that's there is there to empower the user and in some way should be able to help them get their work done faster. Ultimately, the goal was cognitive relief for people who are operating on the calendar. Where they traditionally had to work in their full physical environment with sticky notes, notebooks, the calendar on their screen, typing on their keyboard, we wanted to take all of that information that people were having to find other ways to note down and make sure that that was all available right in the calendar canvas so that you don't need to go anywhere else. It's just a one-stop shop for everything you need for your day's scheduling.